as you come in, as this Facebook notifies everyone to come in. Come on in. Hello, hello. Say hello as you come on. Say hi, welcome. Hello, hello. I am excited is not the word for this. For what I want to share with you, but I want to bring some awareness around some stuff to you today. And it's all about this. We're in peculiar times right now. Peculiar time, right? But in a way, we've kind of always been, if you think about it. If it's not one thing, it's another. And this time around is this coronavirus, right? So I want to talk a little bit about that. It's always what you dream of is one thing, what you go after is another. And what actually happens is completely different. So I want to marry all that for you today. So as you come in, please say hello because I want to say hi back. I can't see anybody that's on here, so you say hi. Today, it's been a fantastic day for me. I went to my networking event, which I go to twice a month. And it's always fabulous just being around powerful women, like-minded women. However, because of the times that we're in, right, there were some shaking, some hugging, some not touching, because of this thing that we are all trying to protect ourselves from. And I get it. I totally get it. And it dawned on me that this is yet another fear that is running the show in our lives. Right? So this is what I want to talk to you about, because let's just talk about a little bit briefly. What has coronavirus done to you? How has it affected you? I know a lot of people personally. Next week is my sister's birthday, and we were supposed to travel to go celebrate with her. And because of this thing, we have halted our travel. And I know I'm not the only one. A lot of people have changed their travel plans because of this virus, right? I know I spoke to a lady who has a cruise that they had booked almost a year ago. And here they are now. It's kind of, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? So you have that travel plans are being halted. You have the stores. The shelves are empty. Actually took a picture today because I went to a store. Stores, the shelves are empty. You have connection is being broken because, again, people aren't hugging. They aren't shaking hands. All of that connection is just being broken. You have people kind of washing their hands and trying to stay away, right? This is what largely the coronavirus is doing right now. People are isolating themselves, right? Because no, I can't be in large groups. I can't be around this person or be around that person. That's what's happening. And it really dawned on me that this is alongside what I teach and what I coach on. Fear. Because here's the thing, coronavirus is out there, but there's this other virus that you've been nursing for years that resides inside of you, inside of your mind, inside of your head, and it's called fear. It is a virus that has you canceling your travel plans. You're not stepping up. You're not speaking up for yourself. You're isolating yourself because you don't want to be judged. You don't want to be seen as less than. You don't want to be seen as too much. You think you're inadequate, so you remove yourself from this setting. This other fear inside of you has you doing all kinds of things. So this is what I want to kind of unpack for you today, right? So again, as you come in, please say hello. Let me know that you're on here. And what is my intention for this? My intention and desire really, again, is to move you from a state of fear, inner fear, to freedom. Because when you're in freedom, when you're making decisions from a place of freedom and love, everything is different. Everything is different. And I know you want that for yourself. Too many people tell me, I'm not living the life I want to live. I've tried this and it's not working. I want to be able to just speak for myself, stand up for myself. I want to be able to impact lives. I know I have more inside of me, but I can't do it. And I want you to change your narrative around that. That is my intention for you today. So before I dive in, I want to take a moment and introduce myself. Hi, Prince. Good to see you. My name is Bissy McGregor, and I am the founder of Fear to Freedom and the creator of the Fear to Freedom Accelerator. I help high achievers, go-getters, professionals like yourself go after what it is that you want, personally or professionally, without fear ever holding you back again. Ever. Imagine that. So let's dive into it. 5 myths of the coronavirus and fear. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to play this thing, 5 myths of the coronavirus and fear as we know it. Now, the research I've done on coronavirus is from Live Science, all right, and other articles that are out there. So let's start. So one of the first myths is this. The first myth is that face masks protect you from the virus, right? They say face masks protect you from the virus. But here's the thing. Research shows that standard surgical masks cannot protect you. It cannot protect you because they're not designed to block out these viral particles, right? So what happens really with a mask is that they help people who are already infected from spreading it. So let's think about this with this other virus, fear, that you're constantly plagued with. What is that? Your thoughts, your mind, right? Your thoughts, your mind. Think about the people that you're around, specifically the toxic people, because you know there's some people that are in your circle that you have no business being around, right? But here's the thing. You're around them, you say, I can't stand up to them. I can't not draw my boundaries around them, right? Instead, I'm just not going to say anything. I'm just going to hold my tongue. So you hold your tongue, but what happens? You listen and take in everything that they're spewing, everything that they're spewing. And then you wonder why you get home and you're doubting yourself again. I mean, it's bad enough that you were doubting yourself before, but now that doubt has grown, right? So you being in the space, in the presence of toxic people saying, well, I don't complain with them. I just kind of watch them. I don't say anything, so you're guarded, right? But you're there, you're taking it in. Your body is taking it in. Your heart is taking it in, what it is that they're spewing out, whether they're complaining or just giving excuses or just negative thinking. They're spewing it out and you're there, right? As a receptacle and just taking it all in. So what's the point here? When you're around your circle, just because you're not saying anything, just because, you've guarded your mouth, doesn't mean you're all guarded. Because you're hearing, you're listening, you're taking in what these people are spewing out. All right? So that's the first myth. The second myth that they talk about with the coronavirus is this, that you're way less likely, to get this than the flu. That's what they've said, right? This myth. And research says not necessarily, right? Because this thing spreads quite easily. Quite easily. In fact, what they've realized and research out there, what the research has said is the way it spreads, it's more than the flu itself. right? A single infected person could infect about 2.2 other people on average. The flu is kind of like 1.5 people, if that. So think back again to what I just talked about, toxic people. When you're in the midst of your friends, co-workers, family members, think about those conversations when you share an idea or somebody shares an idea and one person decides, I have an opinion about this, and that opinion happens to be a criticism, a complaint because of their past. What happens to that gathering? It spreads like wildfire. It becomes a complaining fest. It becomes this pity party. You're just out there. Everyone is just, oh yeah, that's right. I remember when, oh, I knew that person who did. And you're there. Energy is drained. And this negativity, this energy spreads. It sips in. So here's the thing. Your fear in general is always at your door. It's waiting for a little opening to get in and just take residence. It's exactly like the virus. It is just waiting to see who's susceptible to this, who is open. And this is what I know to be true. It's either your fears or your dreams. There's no room for both. It's the same way. It's either you're in gratitude or you're complaining. You cannot have those two emotions at the same time. It is impossible. Try eating an ice cream and you're angry. Try doing that. So this whole thing that, you are probably protected when you're centered, you're in your state and it's just everyone around you. This thing spreads like fire. That's the way fear is. And you wonder why you get home and you're not able to follow your dreams. All of a sudden, you're second guessing yourself. Things that you never thought about before. Excuse me. You're second guessing yourself. You're questioning. All of a sudden, you're looking for validation out there. You're looking for validation outside of you. Right? This is what happens when that fear seeps in. Right? So let's move on to the third myth. The third myth says the virus is just a mutated form of the common cold. So the virus is just a mutated form of the common cold. And research says it isn't. It is a large family of viruses that includes many different diseases. So here's what I want you to consider. Think about your fear. Fear shows up in different forms. It is different for everyone because we are all unique. We are all unique. For some people, it shows up as procrastination. For some people, it shows up as not being able to speak up for themselves. For some people, it shows up as hesitating on the project or a decision. Should I not? Oh, what do you think? What do you think? Just tell me what you think first. Looking for validation of your opinion, your thought. Right? Sometimes it shows up as when an opportunity presents itself for you. Oh, I got to think about it. I need to analyze it. I need to think about it again. I need to mull it over. No, you're not being smart or trying to mull it over truly. This is your fear working. This is your fear working, period. For some people, maybe you're on here and it shows up as perfectionism. I can't move forward until this thing is perfect. I need to make sure it's A, B, C. I need to make sure my I's are dotted, my T's are crossed, everything. Everything has to be perfect. Yet we all know there's nothing perfect, right? So then you delay, you procrastinate, you push it out. And you call yourself proudly, I'm a perfectionist. But those opportunities just pass by. For some of you, it shows up as excuses. Oh, I know I could do that, but what happened is 12 years ago, when I tried this, or I know someone who tried it and it didn't quite well work out for them. And that's the insidious thing about excuses. It's there's an element of truth in it, right? So it makes it real. I've invested in myself before and the program did not work for me. Therefore, I don't do it anymore. Sure, maybe that was true in the past, but it may not be true for you today. But when you hang on to your excuses, like my mentor says, excuses excuse you from your God-given potential. It gives you permission to take a back seat. It gives you permission to not do anything. Oh, remember you tried in the past and it did not work. There's no need to move forward again. Remember you got burned when you dated that person. There's no need for you to date anymore. And then you find that your heart is close to love. But yet, you're praying every day to find a partner. It's a misalignment. For some of you, you're on here and complaining is your thing. Complaining is your thing. And it zaps your energy. It zaps your time. It zaps any resources that you might even have to do anything productive. And you wonder why you're tired. You seem, I'm so fatigued. I work 10 hours and I don't know, because 7 of the 10 hours you are busy complaining, utilizing your units of energy on that doesn't serve you. So I say all this to say, fear shows up in different forms. Do you know what yours is? Do you know how yours shows up? A lot of times we don't know our blind spots. You can't see a blind spot. That's why it's called a blind spot, right? That's why it's called a blind spot. Not to mention, fear is trickier than that. It doesn't want to be found out. So here's what I'll say to you. When you're faced with a decision, a project, a task, something that is outside of your comfort zone, whatever it is that you go to, that story that you go to in order for you to retreat is one of your fears. Is one of your fears. Because your fears come up in order for you to stay confined in your comfort zone. All right, so that was the third myth. All right, let's move on. So the fourth myth says the virus was probably made in the lab. This is what it says. And I've heard this. I've spoken to people like, oh my God, it's man-made, it's a conspiracy, blah, blah, blah. Apparently, there isn't evidence right now that suggests that it is man-made. Okay. Again, I'm not an expert in this medical science. I'm not an expert in all of this. What I want you to hear from that is this. Our brains, your brain, is wired for safety, period. Your brain is wired for safety, period. Physical safety, emotional safety, mental safety, all of that, period. So anything that threatens your safety has you result into some fear responses. Fear response is what I call excuses. You're delaying, you're hesitating, you're wishing, you're hoping, all of that. You're complaining, you're isolating yourself. You're playing the victim. Look what they did to me. Look what happened to me. You're feeling entitled. That is just your brain at work. No one is doing anything to you. No one made this up for you. That's your brain at work. It is how you are wired. That is why if you do not get a deeper understanding of how you are wired and what to do about it, you will always find yourself retreating into your comfort zone. period. Because that is fear's job, that you stay in your comfort zone. And we all know what happens in your comfort zone. Nothing. At least nothing that you want. Everyone is out here trying to do something that is outside of their comfort zone. You're not trying to do something that's in your comfort zone because you're already there. You already live there. And it's your fear that keeps you there. It's the security guard of your comfort zone, your fears. And it does its job quite well. All right. So number 5, the 5th one. The myth says getting COVID-19 is a death sentence. And research says that isn't true. That isn't true. And I'm just going to leave that out, just leave that there, yes, there have been some deaths. However, there have been other cases where people are recovering from it. But here's what I want you to take away from this. Even though fear keeps you in your comfort zone, even though you have fear, it doesn't mean your dreams and desires must die. Right? So again, you're naturally wired for safety. Anytime you're stepping out, doing something new, having a new thought, your fear comes up and says, wait a minute. We can't do that. We don't do that. You're going to be humiliated. They're going to judge you. You're going to feel bad. You're not going to be understood. You're not going to be loved. Now, it's not a conscious thing going on. It's just there. And it's so fast. And before you know it, you say, oh my God, I don't have time. I'm so overwhelmed with everything going on. I'm taking care of the kids over here. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Oh, I can't try that thing. It does everything it needs to do to move you back into your comfort zone. And this is what happens. Most people retreat into their comfort zone. So fear, you can think about it as it's this protective glove, right? But yet it stands between you and your greatness. And what I want you to hear is that just because fear exists and it does its job very well, doesn't mean that you cannot grow. Even though that's the common result for people. Just because fears come up every day for you doesn't mean your dreams and desires must die. I want you to know you are not your fears. You are not your fear. You are not your fear. I'm going to repeat that again. You are not your fear. You have them, but you aren't your fears. You are bigger than them. You are more powerful than them. And more importantly, there's something that you can do about your fears. This is why I have created Discover Your Fearless Formula workshop. We start this workshop on the 16th in 5 days. This workshop is a result-focused workshop where you join me on a live call every day, where I will show you exactly how to reframe 4 of the most common fears that show up for people, that show up for you. And I'm going to help you shift them and turn them into fuel for your freedom, for your success, so that you can finally attempt the things that you keep dreaming about, so that you can finally go after what it is that you want this quarter, this month, this year, this decade. I know a lot of you have lofty goals for 2020. Lofty goals for 2020. I know a lot of you have people, lives that that are looking up to you, souls that are looking up to you, and you want to impact their lives. I know you have assignments on your life to inspire other people, and I want to help you do that. So Discover Your Fearless Formula workshop is for you if you've mapped out your goals. You have tried harder. You're working hard. You want the thing, and it's not like you don't know how to do the thing, but something just keeps holding you back. You find yourself back at square one. Self-doubt takes over. Maybe it's not you. Maybe you're not good enough for it. Maybe you're not adequate. And I'm going to put this on the screen for you. So for those of you that are feeling like, I know I need to discover my fearless formula, go to this link. Discover Your Fearless Formula workshop is for you if procrastination, overwhelm seems to be the theme in your life. Perfectionism, lack of follow through. You keep sabotaging yourself. You've said one too many times, it's that person or it's that thing, is this, but deep down inside, you know what's up. You're the one sabotaging yourself. If you're ready to get over that, you want to join me for this workshop. If you feel like your self-discipline leaves little or nothing to be desired, excuses seem to just roll off your tongue, and you're ready to eliminate all of that, and you're ready to kickstart that life you keep promising yourself, join me for this 10-day workshop. It is powerful because you're going to walk away not only with an understanding of how you're wired for the results that you keep getting, but you will learn how to say no to fear so that you can get a different result. Because right now, what you're getting right now is because of the understanding you currently have, the knowledge you currently have, the wisdom you currently have, the skills you currently have. Yet you're wanting a different result. It's almost like you need to hang a curtain. It requires a screwdriver, but all you have in your toolbox is a hammer. It's a hammer. Every time you try, you break the wall. It's not working. The curtain doesn't even stay up. Your next level requires a different version of you. It requires a different set of tools, different set of skills. And this is what you're going to get in Discover Your Fearless Formula. You're also going to have the know-how on what to do whenever you're faced with excuses, procrastination, all those insidious saboteurs that come up. So here's what you're going to get in this program. Focused and powerful daily life training from yours truly. The value for that alone is $1,000. You're going to get fast action, fearless worksheets to help you deepen the work. Because here's what I know. It's not like a lot of you are brilliant. I know you are. It's not even a lot of you. If you're watching me, I know you're intelligent, you're brilliant, because that is all I attract. You know how to do the thing. That's not a question. You know how to do it. You're brilliant. Heck, you've done it for so long with little support or with no support. But now you've come to a place where it's kind of like, how come I can't do it any longer? What's going on? I walk into a room and I don't even get noticed. That's never happened before. So intellectually, some of these things you know. Intellectually, you know you got to do away with your excuses. You know excuses is not, it doesn't fuel your dreams. But it's one thing knowing it. It's nice to know. It's another thing when you can embody it. When you can embody it. And this is what the worksheets are going to do for you. It's going to help you deepen the work. The value for that alone, just the worksheets alone, is $500. The other thing you're going to get is 2 weekly Q&A calls. Again, with yours truly. Why is this important for you? Because when you're growing, you have questions. When you're having those sensations in your body and your brain and these things are coming up, I'm there with you to answer those calls. I'm there to walk you through. So I'm going to be there 2 weekly calls with you to answer whatever questions come up for you whilst you walk this fearless formula that you have just discovered. And the value for that is $200. I've literally just packaged a value of $1,700 and above for you. But here's the thing. You're not going to pay $1,700. No. You are going to pay $297 only. Yeah, you heard me. Why, Bissy? Why are you doing that? Why is it so discounted? Why? What's going on? Listen, I just got back last month. I had 2 live events in Nigeria with a little over 60 people in total. And I was inspired and moved by the work that happened in those rooms, by the breakthroughs that showed up, by the shifts that happened. Dreams were awakened. Breakthroughs that you have been praying for happened in a moment. So I want to walk you through some of the work that I walk through with them in that workshop. If you did this with me for 12 weeks, if you did this with me for 3 months, it's a whole nother price point. But I want you to get this for $297 only. Here is how you get in. Go to bissymcgregor.com, and I put that on the scroll here, bissymcgregor.com/10DYFF. We start March 16th. That's next Monday. March 16th, and we end on the 27th, right? 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. By the 20th, before the 27th, you are going to be a changed person, because no one walks into a container with me and leaves the same person. It's impossible. My work is incredibly powerful. I change lives in one conversation, one seating, 20 minutes, 10 minutes. So imagine what happens with you 10 days. We're in this work, in deep. You're doing the work, and you're also allowing the work to work you. Join me, bissymcgregor.com/10DYFF. All right. I look forward to seeing you in there. Again, if you know anyone that needs to hear this message, to eliminate, to kill this virus we call fear that's been running the show in your life, that has consumed your dreams and your desires. If you're ready to put an end to them, that virus, show up in this workshop. Again, thank you for being here with me. I'm Bissy McGregor, your fearless coach. I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.